All right, welcome back, everyone. Where we've met after, what was it, 3 days of work, 4 days of work, 2 days of work? It's all a blur at this point, but got a bunch of little plants and stands and doodads built. Well, a bunch of plants anyway. Gonna move into a couple of other things today, but not. We're still gonna be largely plant-based on our production here today. I think gonna make a fair amount of progress. The first little batch doesn't look like it's gonna be that bad. I say all that glue pretty much dried clear. There's some haze there, but didn't quite get this one all the way down, but I think it'll look okay once it gets in place. I'm digging I'm anxious to see what this is going to look like when it's all said and done. I think it's going to be interesting to have like the whole scene going. So, so that's about all I got for that. So I'll grab those pieces and we'll get rolling on the actual building now. All right. Okay, like I said, today's going to start off with pretty much very similar to yesterday, the tail end of yesterday's build. Got the little plastic plants and their bead vases, however you want to say it. Just got to decide which one goes where. Okay, this guy gets the lighter colored one. I'm hoping okay, we'll have to do a little trim work on it, I think, and it looks like it's going to need some gluing because it's not going to go all the way in, but yeah, we're going to. Well, actually, it shows it sort of proud of it. So it might be. I think it'd be easier to make it look better if it's all the way. The leaves are going all the way down, though. Okay, yeah, that's my decision. I'm going to go ahead and snip not yay much off. And like I say, that sort of nestles down in there. Be easier to glue that way too. If I'm honest, that's the real motivation. I don't think it'll work with our little shrub tree thing, but on these leafy ones, I think that's going to be the way that I'm going to do it anyway. All right, so you held on. Get a little bit of the old Aleene's Turbo Tacky, and I'm just going to try and put a little bit in here and just push our stem in through there and swirl it around a little bit, and sort of stand you up off the side and hope everything stays in place while you dry. Yeah, I know y'all can't see it yet, but I think that I'm feeling that is going to be the way to go. Now these other three there's no decision to be made. It's just the little black looking. This one's a little bit snugger. Okay, there's certain, must be a little, in certain directions it is. If I can get it, I'm still sort of feeling going all the way down is the way to go. And just take, just a smidge off the end here, not even much, just like, yay. So that's gonna grab those. Those aren't the ones I was looking for. Those plastic tweezers I had yesterday. That's hopefully easy to pick them up from the side. So for the same thing, just a little dab in that hole there, and swirl the full contact on the vase. Okay, doesn't work to pick it up with that. I thought that might make it easier. I just gotta get to stand up. Yep. All right. Let's see. Those really simple and I think looks nice on that. Okay, just plugging right along with our next one. And you're actually gonna. This bead is, I think, slightly squished, so I think it'll sort of hold it up a little bit, or it was. Turn it, I say, that way. Alright, so I'm gonna so far this seems to be the way to go. Down in there and swirl you around and find that sweet spot that's how to hold it. Set you up. Stand you up. Oh, knock the other ones down. Find a different spot to stand you up. Over here. Yeah, that one was definitely a little squish, so I think that's not even. Or maybe I got the stem coming out the bottom and it's knocking everything over. Or it might just not have broad enough base either. Okay, so I'll just, yeah, I am gonna pop that end off there. Try again. Yeah, okay. I'm just having a hard time getting these positioned. Okay, yeah, I think the stem was coming through on the bottom here and making that one sort of wonky. Okay, now I'd sort of like to get that one, you know, I say since it's sort of a tree looking thing, I want it to be sort of up. So I'm trying to get me just a teeny little piece of this and see if I can. I thought it was a teeny little piece, it was bigger. Maybe even need to get a teenier little piece. Come back here. Okay, there it went. Okay. So, and it's got a little spike on the end, so maybe it'll go into the paper towel and wedge itself. Let's drop the glue in. And okay, it's going to be off balance, whatever it is. You'll have to find something to lean this one against. Yep, okay, so okay, I got a little hidey hole I can put that in. Okay, yep, that's working. And that's all for that little bit. Just making those 4 little plastic plants. Easy enough. I like it when it's easy. So, I'll grab the next, just one plant on the next one, and we'll get going on it. Okay, and these guys, just gotta pop them in half. I think I'm gonna end up trimming them down even further, but I'll make sure if I need any of that extra string on any spares, I'll have plenty. All right, let's throw you over there. Just use 3 of them on this thing. Because one of them I'll bring as far in as I can go. There it goes. All right, so I've got a vase. And gotta be some glue in here. So just like last time, but try and wedge some in so I got a bottom to work with. I think that's, even though I thought that was just a teeny tiny bit, it's not teeny tiny enough on this one. So I'm gonna do about half of that. Say that. Go back in there. Right. Okay, maybe set it down. That doesn't look level. Okay. Yeah, that one, it's got some, like yesterday I had like 4,000 pieces of sandpaper laying around here. I think I threw them all away. I'm gonna smooth off the bottom. Make sure I get a nice flat surface to work with. Yeah, that seems better. Okay. Other end and wedge that down in there. And stick with the old aliens and try and see how would you want it. I'm going to call it about that tall on these guys. Sort of those use your own judgment things. And likewise we got, I don't know why I'm using those things, got the good ones here. Just realized don't have my specs on. No wonder I can't see into this stuff. Okay, there we go. Off a few of the side leaves here, so I've got some and now drop down in there. I think we're just making one of these. Yeah. Alright. Should have trimmed these before I put the glue in, but I think it'll be alright. If I can get these guys to go in. Yep. They have their leaves laying over a little bit more than that, but I think the effect's going to be about the same. Set you to the side and hopefully let you dry. Okay, it stayed standing up. That's good. And that's all for that bit. And now we actually get to move on to something that's not plants next. So be right back with that. Okay. Got a suitcase to make, and I need to do a little trimming. Just saw I missed this. Not too worried about that one because it's going to be covered up. I want to make sure the edges are good though. And you can see from this side. Alright, there. Okay, I think that's the worst of it or best of it. And that's our get to put one of the wire handles on, so that of course means I'm getting out the old Bondic. And a straight edge. Goes down. These guys. Let's put all our creases in. And one more. Okay. Let's see, you're supposed to go on the inside. No, this gotta go like. Where does that go? Okay. Guess it's like that. That wraps around This is going to be tricky, but I think it's doable. Okay. Doing one this small. I'm going to start on either end, I think. And of course, doing something like this, I go reach for the old Gorilla Super Glue. I get as little on that brush as I can. And here are the inside, so maybe too much. Two sort of lined up, and hope it bonds. And even with my specs on, I can't find my. There's a little pressing on there. I think it's good though. Okay, here. Missed a little there. Can I get it back off without tearing everything up? Maybe. Okay. I think it's going to let me have a second go now. Okay, there we go. That's yeah. Okay. Now that around that way, it looks like sort of a, what do you call it, a valet. Okay. So I'm going to hit here. Once again, probably a little too much. But this one should be a little more forgiving. Okay. Yeah. I wish they'd just put a couple pieces of wood in there and make that a solid piece that we could wrap up. I think that would be easier on my nerves. But there we go on that part. Now got our wire. We're supposed to basically bend it over to make a handle for it. Grab something. This will do. Screwdriver. Got the good diameter on the something round. Yeah. All right. Get our old Bondic buddy out. And paper towel, because I know this thing's going to be all full of juicy goodness when I pop the top. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to drop down. Try and get one end in it. And I had it for a second there. I moved it. It'll be on there anyway. And then that end. Get both sides nice and good. Okay, and got a wonky handled briefcase, but it'll do the job. Is that gonna? And it holds. All right, securely finished buttocks, because I think all that glue's dried. All right, moving right along, making progress here tonight. I like it. Put my Bonding up because I don't think I'm going to need it again tonight. And set you off to the side, and I'll be right back where we're going to start rolling up some newspapers and building some boxes. Okay, like I said, boxes and newspapers. I got my toothpick ready to do some rolling with that. I think I'm going to start up with the boxes, seeing which one's supposed to make one of these solid and leave the top open on those three. And I'm hoping that I can get away with only having done the little slit on these, but we'll find out soon enough together. Ooh. Oh, creases there, good. All right. And I'm already seeing where I made a mistake on these boxes. I'll tell you about here in a second. Okay, right there is my mistake. There's no reason to have a tab that small, because that's where they're going to bind together. You leave yourself a good bit of surface area here to bind this, to roll this around into. This will work, but it'll be easier if I had, about 3 times that size. And it's going to be on the inside, so it's not going to matter. But live and learn. Okay, so make sure all our creases are in good shape. Fortunately, I've got lots of practice building these little boxes from the previous set, so I'm fairly familiar with them. Okay, so I want long guys on the outside, little guys on the inside. Maybe not. There's supposed to leave that much of a gap. I guess so. There's no other way to do it. All the creases, all the lines are right there. Okay. So, okay. I'm going to try and hit that little bitty tab. Get my glue and plate out. There. And guys together and not glue myself to it. Always the big challenge for me when I'm using super glue. Okay, I think that worked. Put these guys back. See if I can hit. I'm going to be greedy. I'm going to go for all 4 at once. And then I glued myself to it while I was talking. I think it's making contact on the inside. That one's not. That corner. Alright. There you go. Okay. And That wasn't too bad, but that may be why they left such a big gap in the middle, so you can get some pressure on the back side to make sure you get contact. All right. Whether they meant to do that or not is up for debate, but that was the result. And you guys, because this one gets both sides. All four of those corners. All right, got us one solid box, or one box anyway. Oh, close that up before I knock it over. And then these three, I'm only doing the bottom on it because that's where all the newspapers are gonna go. Dummy. Okay. And I think I even cut that tab smaller than I did the last one. Alright. And get our creases all good and worked in. And I think got some writing on this flap, so I'm going to call this the top side, I think. Even though it doesn't look like it's the top side based on the... It looks like that's upside down. Of course, I can't read Chinese, so it might not be. But that's an extra detail I just want to make sure is available. Okay. Looks like this one's going to get a little bit closer to being solid on the bottom too. Although there's not much connection there, so I think like I said, I mangled that. I must have mangled. See if I can over there. Yeah, like I said, there's hardly anything there. There's nothing to grab onto. There might be a little bit there. Okay, I'll give it a go. Because I keep sticking to my instruction manual, so I set it aside. I know what I'm doing so far. Oh, if I can find. A little bit of pressure there. Let me get it. Alright, I think that'll hold it together long enough for me to glue these other sides. Like I say, I want. Like I said, I want that writing on this tab, this flap to be showing, so I'm going to leave that as the top. And these guys, I'm going to open these up so if I need to push my toothpick in again. Alright. And ready to try for all four at once again. And like I said, leaving this lid open on this one because this is where we're going to stow all our rolled up newspapers when we get done with them. So that's, set that right there. I guess I can put this completed box over into the tray of tiny things. Okay. Yep. Okay. Now, like I said, this one, no details on this one, so I got, but it's got English writing, so I know this way, this side up. And as always, it's your model. You do it whichever way you want to on it. It's all about personal preference. I think it'd look better to have the box upside down for make it look like it's used or reused. I think that might work too. Okay. Okay, and pull these guys up again. Should be able to make that one work. Okay, I'm calling that my top, so this is my bottom. I just saw a video for the Minions. I don't know if it might have just been a clip from one of the movies, but it's, I just think Bob or whoever, bottom, ha 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 ha. I got one connected good. Let's try that again. Okay, should be good on that one. Alright. Just one more box to build. And then we get to go into rolling, I think it's like 15 or 18 teeny tiny newspapers. But I think that'll go quick. Famous last words. Okay. Alright. Now. And I'll stick with my leaving the top with that little detail on there. Okay. I think I can make that work. I think still, if I'd left more of a tongue there, it would have been easier, but it is working with the super glue at least, so that's a good thing. And ease you in and make sure these guys are open to get access from to apply the pressure. Okay. A Q-tip would probably be a better tool for applying this pressure than the bullet nail. This. Apply it a little more evenly, I'd say. Okay, but it does the trick. Alright, so we are done building boxes. I'm still going to need the super glue, I don't know why I'm putting it up. But next thing I've found on rolling papers, especially these teeny tiny ones. Run around the edge there a little bit to get that curl started. And then just roll right into shape, and I'm actually a little surprised it worked that well. Just the least little touch of here in the middle there. And there we go. Only a gazillion more to go. But that, I'm honestly surprised it went that well. A little curl. Okay. Moving right along. Dig it. Come on, give me one. Make sure I got the... Okay. A little crooked on that one, but they'll straighten up. This would be good to have regular super glue with just put a drop in. See it real squished out. All right. Okay. Yeah, so you're moving right along. Sort of little tedious, but you never know when I'm going to mess something up, so it's well worth watching. I think I may actually try something slightly different on the next one just to see how it turns out. I bet some deer walked up by the window. That's generally what sets them off like that. Okay. Now, mix things up a little bit maybe. If it'll see how this works. Do some change the diameter on this one. See if I can roll it on this. Yeah, wider. Yeah, because this looks. Yeah, I think that'll be. I try and do that. Just sort of mix and match a little bit with the size. Just because I think to me this looks like it's a storage thing or a moving thing, so they're not going to be like perfectly rolled every time. So yeah, I've got 3 or 4 cylinders over here that I may give it a shot, just to, let's say, a little variety. Let's do. I think I might add a little detail to it. Let's see, I got a little dowel here. It's a real thick one. Yeah. That would be. That one got away from me. I think that might not have been a good... no, it's rolling back in. Okay, that may be too big. So, I won't use that again, but I'll try the teeny tiny screwdriver next, see how that goes. It looks like it's a little thicker than this thing. Yeah. There's a reasonable stack over here. Let me do a quick stop start because I'm about to run out of I keep wanting to say tape, but video. I guess that sort of shows how old I am. I still say oh, I don't forget what even when I was talking, even when DVDs were a thing, I'd still say the tape. I'll go back to this one for this one. Alright. Well, I pulled the pieces for one more step tonight, but I don't think I wasn't planning on taking this long, so I would imagine that we will not be going to that step. Okay, if I just rotate through these three, they seem to be the ones that actually work. They just keep coming. What do we got left here? How many have I done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I think that's more than we need. That's 19 sitting there, so I'm not... Seems like that's excessive. I am getting my rhythm down on this at least. Lost my flap on that one. Okay. If you stayed this long for this, I appreciate it. It's I didn't think this through. It's back to like when I was making those flowers on the other day. What, 5 more to go? Yeah, not too bad. Oh yeah, back to this one. I'm surprised I have not glued myself to one of these things a whole lot better than the few times I've sort of stuck to it. I figured this was just begging for me to have tiny newspapers glued to my finger, like all my fingers. I think I'm going to go back just the toothpick for the last few. All right, 2 more. Get to the end, I can't lose my dexterity. I picked up something there. through that. Okay. One more. Good old Albert. All right, finally, got our stack of newspapers and our boxes to put them in. And how many go in each box now? Let's see here. Okay. 6 go in these, and 7 go in that one, supposedly. 3, 3, oops, I'm out of frame. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 3, 4, 6, and 1, 2. No, they did not give us extra newspapers. That's how they're all. Gonna use them all up. Okay. I was mistaken. Happens all the time. All right, one in the middle, and get my tweezers. Sealed, make sure that's all good and sealed. Go back to the old turbo tacky, I think, and try and figure out how I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to take an empty bag, put me a puddle of glue down, dip them in the end, and then place them in the box and see how that goes. I'm not sure if it'll work or not, but that seems like the easy way to do that. So just a little glop there. And in there. That one worked. One more. And 6. Try and move you all around sort of randomly. Alright, so those flaps down, I hope. Okay. Set you aside. Where am I going to put you? There's a good spot. Alright. That seemed to be pretty effective, so I guess I'm going to stick with that. And I'm getting the low battery light, so I've been going longer than I thought. No telling how long this thing's... You lose all track of time when you're having fun, I guess. If you call that fun. I do. But if I cut out on you, I'll go change the battery and I'll be right back. Keep in there. I try and make them a little more random. Just all stacked up nice and neat together. That's my plan anyway. Got cat hair or something's hair. Not my hair. Hadn't had that in years. And drop you in there. Okay. Oh, we got that one. Alright. See if I can get those lint or hair or whatever that is out of there. It may just be lint. And our last guy. These flaps down. Of course, this one's got the big gaping hole in the bottom, so that's going to make it a little more challenging, maybe. Of course, I got glue on my tweezers too, so that's not helping. Okay, wipe those off. Okay, just have you evidently standing dead straight. I'll try and do some angles. One more little drop here. This last one in. And the battery's not flashing red at me yet, so that's good. In this corner, maybe. Alright. I'm going to call it quits there. I will take a little break and let this glue sort of set up so I can handle these things. And I'll come back and do a little outro for you. So I'll be right back with that. Okay, that's not a bad bit of progress. Nice day's work. The glue is still leaking a little bit through these things. They're not quite dry yet, so I'm going to leave them on the plastic for another few minutes. But I think this stuff's going to look really good when we get it all installed. I think I'm really pleased that so far the handle on my suitcase is actually staying on, so that's an accomplishment when you get those little wire things. And I like all these little plants. I think turned out pretty nicely. Everything seems to be sticking pretty good. Nothing's falling off. But like I say, that's a good day's work. I'm pleased with it. Yeah, I would have liked to get further, but these work on these tiny little things, it just takes that much time. Look, quick peek ahead what we're working on next. I got like a little newspaper stand and then a storage bucket and advertising plate. So we're getting into some, actual stuff now after, not just plants anymore. We're moving into furniture and doors and stuff pretty quickly. So that'll be fun. Or, different anyway. It may not be fun. We'll have to see how fun it is. But like I said, I'm digging how these newspaper boxes turned out. Of course, the plants are, just more plants. But anyways, folks, if you've made it this far, thank you so much. I just hit the 2350 subscriber mark, which is, you know, substantially more than I ever thought I would ever get. I'm just, you know, started doing this for fun, and now they're actually paying me like $5 or $6 a day to do it. So that's awesome to me. But anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, complain, share. Do whatever you want to with all that. Be good to one another. Stay safe. And I'll see you next time. Bye.